You only have 10 minutes. You only have 10 minutes and not more. I just want to go to Urla and drink some wine. We can do that. I mean, we're staying at the after party. Don't worry, we'll drink enough wine. Okay, we're going to wrap up in 10 minutes. Don't worry, but it's going to be difficult for us. So, what is new traditions? Can a tradition be new? Well, Gustav Mahler says tradition is about preserving the fire, not praying for the ashes. Well, actually, it's a nice saying, and actually, this is something we have been talking about as a team. So we have to look at the definition of tradition. So in simplest terms, actually, a tradition is something that we have been doing for a long time. And when you look at the Turkish literature, I mean, you can have, pages long definitions. But when you say tradition, when you say habits or customs, whatever, have we always had them? Because sometimes we're very conservative. We say that our ancestors has done it like this for hundreds of years. So what does always mean? Does it mean something when you live to be 100, or does it mean for 3 generations? So when we say always, what does that mean? Is it important? I mean, what is 100 years or 500 years when you look at human history or the history of the world? It's nothing. So, this tradition or these traditions that we never want to let go of, our traditional food, our traditional dish, Asian dishes, Southeastern dishes, etc. Actually, these are the innovations of yesterday. Of course, somebody bold or courageous, a man or a woman, did something new, and then it has continued for ages. Now it's what we call a tradition. And what we're doing today as innovations will be the traditions of tomorrow. Nothing is static, nothing stays the same. And when you look at the culture, it's like a living organism. It's like people. It's like human beings. So we're changing all the time. And if we want to keep up with it, if we want to preserve this culture, I mean, I'm not a nationalist or anything, but if we want to preserve the culture, maybe we should do what Darwin has said. I mean, he's not that popular, the evolution theory and everything, but what he said is quite true. He says, not the strongest nor the smartest will survive, but the ones who can adapt to change will survive. Exactly. You might say, why are we talking about this? How are you going to connect this to gastronomy and gastroeconomy? I mean, why are you talking about Mahler or Darwin? Actually, everything is related to gastronomy because food is in the center of our lives. If we do not eat, we're going to die. So gastronomy decides on the type of world that we want to live in, and gastronomy decides on type of economy that we would like to develop. So it's very simple. But why are we talking about it right now? Why are we talking about traditions? For example, the Spanish presenter talked about the wine exports, he talked about production numbers, and we heard from other presenters, and we're going to listen from Japan, South Korea, and Thailand. But if we're looking into the future, and if we're going to market the tradition of our region, is this story relevant to other people, or are we just, tricking ourselves? Are we keeping up with the era? I'm not saying we should unlearn everything. No, it's just the opposite. I mean, we have to build upon the things that we know, but we cannot eat the way that our ancestors did 1,000 years ago. I mean, we don't want to eat like that anymore. If that's the case, then we have to create, we have to form new traditions. That's what we're doing, but it's about time we accepted it. So innovation is a must, of course. It's indispensable. I mean, today is different from yesterday, tomorrow will be different from today. So why are you putting on the brakes? Just leave it. You have to keep the fire going. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you ask me to talk about this stuff, yes, here I am talking about new traditions like this. But these are important issues. So let's not only focus on numbers. Let's not focus on our targets or the numbers that we would like the tourists to spend on. It all depends on us. Those topics are somewhat shallow. We have to go deeper. We have a small conference. It's not as ostentatious as this one. It's called YENI. And this year, this is what we're going to talk about, the new traditions. It's on September the 21st, and the new traditions are what we're going to talk about. You don't have as many sponsors as we do, unfortunately, yes. No, we have very good sponsors. Without sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do anything. Okay, thank you very much, Mehmet. Okay, see you, everyone.